With night 2 of the WWE Draft from Raw finally in the books, let's take a look back and see what I got right, see what I got wrong, and see what I think from the draft. So let's hit that intro and get into it.
Yeah, it's our time to shine. Show that's the kind of state of mind you gotta combine with hard work and time. You gotta climb to the top. Don't let yourself drop till your heart stops. Let this beat rock. Got a new clock and a new stock for this new rock. Just let your mind loose from the new stock. Drunk off the goose, thinking that I'm too pop. Getting caught with a few thoughts cause I'm too lost. Let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up.
And with the first pick of the draft, Raw selected the 2 remaining members of Imperium. I had them going to SmackDown. I thought Gunther and Cody'd be a great program for the WWE title, but apparently they got other plans. It doesn't matter. Those 2 can go anywhere and be golden. And with the second pick of the draft, SmackDown selected Jade Cargill. No big surprise there. They aren't going to break her up for Bianca. She just got there. Might as well just keep her there. And with the third pick, Raw selected Damage Control. Little surprised about this one. I thought they had more story to tell with Bayley over on SmackDown, but I'm digging it. I like it. And with the fourth pick, SmackDown keeps Kevin Owens on the show. Again, he's done great since he's been there. I kind of thought it'd be nice to have him and Sammy back on the same show, but Kevin's one of those guys, again, you could just stick anywhere and he's going to be successful. And with the fifth pick of the draft, Raw keeps CM Punk. Again, you're going to keep Drew, you're going to keep Punk, you're going to keep those 2 together. They're going to, when Punk comes back from injury, he's going to have a really good feud with Drew. So keeping him on Raw does make sense. And with the 6th pick, SmackDown selects The Pride, who they officially called, finally, The Pride on TV, with B-Fab, Bobby Lashley, and the Street Profits. Again, a team that you can put anywhere, and they're going to have good feuds with other people. And with the 7th pick, Raw selected Braun Strowman. I originally had him not getting drafted at all. I thought they'd bring him later on. But they put him in the draft. Eden had him return that night, so he's cleared. Looks like good to go. I love it. I love me some Braun Strowman. And with the 8th pick, just like I thought, SmackDown selected Tiffany Stratton. Her, Naomi, and Nia Jax and Bayley are going to probably much be the centerpiece of the WWE Women's title for the next year, so makes sense to keep her on SmackDown. And with the 9th pick, Raw takes the LWO away from SmackDown. This includes Carlito, which was really odd because of his pretty much split from the group on Friday night, but it gets all 6 of them over, and I'm all for that. I did think they were going to stay on SmackDown and have Legado stay on go to Raw, but they kind of flip-flopped that because they got Legado going to SmackDown. But it does break them up because I think that story's pretty much ran its course. And with the 11th pick, Raw selects Drew McIntyre. I figured he'd stay there. He's going to stay, like I said earlier, he's going to stay on the same brand as Punk, so they can have their match when Punk is cleared to return to the ring, hopefully around SummerSlam. I think it's just going to be a really good show, and keeping Drew on Raw makes the most sense. And with the 12th pick, SmackDown selects Shinsuke Nakamura. I had him going to Raw, but that was one of those ones where he could have went either where. Or I really hope they do something with him on SmackDown. He's too good, too talented not to be considered a real threat to any title on. And with the 13th pick, Raw selected the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough. That makes the most sense. Priest is staying on Raw because he's the World Heavyweight title. I don't think they're moving, even though she hasn't been announced anywhere, I don't think they're moving Rhea because they're going to have that feud with her and Liv Morgan. So keeping those guys with those 2 made the most sense. And with the 14th pick, SmackDown selects Naomi. Not a big surprise here. Her husband Jimmy's going to stay on SmackDown, it seems. And not to mention, like I said earlier, her, Bayley, Tiffany, and Nia are pretty much going to be front and running that women's title picture for the next year. And with the 15th pick, Raw selects Ilya Dragunov, the Mad Dragon, the Czar. I had him going to SmackDown because I had Gunther going to SmackDown. It's inevitable. I think these 2 are going to have a feud. Their feud in NXT UK was amazing. Need to put it on a main stage. And with the 16th pick, SmackDown selects the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I got this one real wrong. I thought they'd split these 2 up. I did have Chelsea going to SmackDown, but I had Piper going to Raw because I figured Chelsea would reform her team with Sonya Deville. I guess Sonya's not as ready to come back as we thought, but we do got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven going to SmackDown. And with the 17th pick, Raw selects The New Day. This was a pick I gave to SmackDown, but I did say they could go anywhere because New Day's that team that can just go anywhere and be inserted and be credible anywhere they go. And with the 18th pick, SmackDown selects the team of Pretty Deadly. This has got to be the biggest bonehead move in the draft, in my opinion. They really missed an opportunity here. I thought a title program between them and the Awesome Truth would be comedy gold. Those two and R-Truth, I think, would have been amazing together. I really think they missed out on this one. And with the 19th pick, Raw select Lyra Valkyria from NXT. This is one of the bigger surprises of the draft for me. I think she had a lot more to do in NXT. I think she had a little bit more to iron out, but they feel she's ready for the main roster. I'm excited to see what she does. And with the 20th pick, SmackDown selects Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I picked this. I thought this is where they were going to end up. With women's tag teams, it really doesn't matter where they go because when they go after the women's tag team titles, they can jump on either show. With the 21st pick, Raw selects the Final Testament, the AOP, Karrion Kross, Paul Ellering, and Scarlett Bordeaux. Honestly, kind of like this. Maybe get Judgment Day. I'll give them a little bit of a face turn and have those two feud for a little bit. I think that would be great. I think it would help out Final Testament a lot. So them going to Raw really does make a lot of sense. And with the 22nd pick, SmackDown selects DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. I had this pick namely because I had Candice and Indy going to SmackDown as well. And as we know, they like to keep couples together if they can. But also I think this will be a great challenger for A-Town Down Under for the WWE Tag Team titles. And with the 23rd pick, Raw selects Bronson Reed. I honestly thought he was on night one. I guess I was wrong. But him staying on Raw does make a lot of sense. He looks destined to become Intercontinental Champion. Probably the one to dethrone Sami Zayn eventually. So keeping him on Raw does make the most sense. And with the final pick of the night, SmackDown selects Blair Davenport from NXT. I really like this pick. I had her going to Raw, but I really did want her to go to SmackDown because of somebody else I thought was going to go to SmackDown. So hopefully everything I want comes to fruition. And that's all the picks that were announced on Raw. Now let's look at some of the supplemental picks announced on social media after the show. Apollo Crews goes to SmackDown. I had him going down as a free agent. It really doesn't look like they're doing the free agency thing this time. So if he goes anywhere, hopefully the changes here in SmackDown gets him some TV time and some decent stories. Now we have Natalya staying on Raw. Again, this is someone you can put anywhere. She's going to be a good hand. She's going to do what you need her to do. So she's someone that can go anywhere. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and she'll be fine. Now we have Giovanni Vinci going to SmackDown, officially doing the Imperium breakup. I figured they might keep him with him and have a storyline going on. I wonder maybe he doesn't get the Tucker Knight kind of treatment because as soon as Tucker Knight broke from Otis, he was pretty much non-used and then kicked out of the WWE. I'm wondering if this will be the same deal. And we have Odyssey Jones, I guess, staying on Raw. Isn't that where he was drafted last year? I don't know because he's been MIA ever since that draft, and now he gets drafted again. Honestly, half the time I forget he's with the company. I would not be surprised to see him not released before too longer. Now we have Dijak going back to Raw. I mean, he was there as T-Bar. We know he's main roster ready. It's really going to be nice to see him back on the main roster. Hopefully he can get re-signed and we can see more of him. I think he really changed a lot going back to NXT, and being Dijak. And with their final pick, SmackDown selects Tegan Nox. I had Tegan Nox going there. Honestly, I want her and Blair Davenport to have a thing because if you ever watch their stuff from the UK, they were absolute amazing matches. That's where I've seen both of them, was from their rivalry in WCPW, What Culture Pro Wrestling. They had amazing matches. I became fans of both of them through that. Hopefully we get to see it on the big stage. Now we have the Creeds and Ivy Nile staying on Raw. This makes sense. They have Chad Gable staying on Raw, so the Creeds should probably stay on Raw if the rumors are true, and they're going to form a new group. And next we have the team of Kaden Carter and Katana Chance staying on Raw. Like I said, with most women's tag teams, it doesn't really matter where you put them because if they get they get the titles, they can jump to either brand. So wherever they are is really not of any consequence. And finally, we have the new Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne going over to Raw. It looks like they're going to be feuding with the final testament there for a while. If you've seen NXT, where they cost them the NXT Tag Team titles. So let's see what they can do there. And there it is. What all happened on night 2 of the WWE Draft from Monday Night Raw. It's kind of exciting to see what they can do with everybody who's changed brands or stayed on brands. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a comment, tell me what you liked or didn't like about the draft. And as always, we'll see you again. Come back soon.
Watch out, 'cause I'm here now and I'm staying.